Hello, and welcome to this week's Monday Music Motivation. For today, I have two big ideas around the kind of flow state and a common trap that people fall into, and actually a bonus thing that you should not miss. So if you're watching this live on April 6th, 2026, this upcoming Saturday on April 11th, the International Clarinet Association's Enthusiast Committee, which I'm the co-chair of, is going to be hosting our annual online workshop. This year is going to be really fun. It's called Choose Your Own Adventure, and it's where we're going to sort of walk you through actually learning a piece of music, or at least a movement of a piece of music. So we have kind of the beginner track, which is going to be Finzi's Five Bagatelles, the third one, the Carol. The intermediate track is the Saint-Saëns Sonata first movement, and then the advanced track is going to be the Saint-Saëns Sonata fourth movement. So if you're interested in learning those pieces, and the idea and the premise of it is we're going to do a group warm-up to sort of get us in the zone, get things warmed up. That's going to be led by Chris McDonald and Mickey Ryan, who are part of the Enthusiast Committee, which is going to be really fun. We're going to have a breakout session where we're going to break out into the beginner, intermediate, or advanced piece. The Finzi, the beginners, are going to be with Lynn Snyder, who's everybody's part of the Enthusiast Committee, of course. And then the intermediate group is going to be with Jay Hassler, who you may know as the Clarinet Ninja if you're watching a lot of online educational clarinet content. And then the advanced group on the Saint-Saëns fourth movement is going to be with me. We're going to be going into a lot of practice science. So if you like what I'm talking about today, then you'll really enjoy what we get into this weekend on Saturday. Then we'll have a little movement stretch break designed around like building performance confidence and performance posture with Aileen Razy, who is not part of the Enthusiast Committee. Then we'll do another breakout session digging into those pieces with your people, and then we'll wrap up with a panel Q&A with all of the Enthusiast Committee people who are there. It's going to be a really fun day. There's a link in the description to the information about that with specific times, getting registered, all of that fun stuff. So if you're interested in, hey, you know, I've kind of wanted to learn one of those movements and learn how to learn a piece effectively and start digging into a solo, then definitely check that out. And no matter what level you're at, one of those pieces will work. The Finzi third movement of the Finzi is very easy and totally doable. No matter, even if you have less than a year of experience playing, you'll get a lot out of that, and Lynn is awesome. And then of course the Saint-Saëns are a little harder. So if you're a little more advanced in the advanced group with the fourth movement, we're going to be talking about fast notes and how to play faster, how to learn fast notes in a confident way so that you can do them consistently and up to tempo, which I think is something that all of us are always thinking about. So definitely don't miss that. Now to talk about the flow state trap for today. Real quick too, if you are watching this after April 11th, there are replays of it all available on the ICA YouTube channel. So just go on YouTube, search International Clarinet Association, Choose Your Own Adventure, and probably all of our events will work up. Or search International Clarinet Association Enthusiasts, and it should come up that way as well. So okay, I'll stop with the information about that, and let's shift gears to the two traps that come with the flow state. So just a quick recap if you haven't seen my recent videos on the flow state. What it is we need to find this sweet spot between kind of challenge and control, frustration and boredom, because that's where we can maximize learning and grow the most effectively. And it's also where our practice becomes efficient because we're actually engaged. So if your stuff is too easy, then it's boring and you're kind of tuning out and not paying attention. If it's too hard, it's frustrating, you can't do it accurately, and you give up and quit. So we need to balance the difficulty. And I think one of the key skills in practice is manipulating the music into that sweet spot. But there's two really common traps that are going to cause issues for you. And both of these traps kind of lead to what Gregg Goodhart, who's a big practice science guy, his website I think is called The Learning Coach, so he's all in the learning science. Gregg Goodhart talks about the speed monster. And these are the two traps I think that lead to the speed monster. Number one is, I think our brains naturally want to be in a flow state. Our brains don't like being bored, and our brains don't like being frustrated. So we get kind of habitually into the things that feel good and feel like that sweet spot to us. But the problem with that is our brains don't like going slow enough to be totally in control and totally accurate. We may be kind of in a flow state, but we're in a flow state doing things sloppily and not totally accurately and a little bit out of control, because it puts us in that sweet spot where it's not boring, but it's not quite frustrating unless you're paying really, really close attention to the details, which is why so often in our journeys of playing, we can do easy pieces and get things up to tempo and stuff. But then as we get more and more picky and more refined nuance about what we want, it gets more and more frustrating, because the way that we've been practicing, which was a good flow state for us on easier music, is no longer working, because now there's more issues coming up and more sloppiness that we're more aware of, and it's just there as we get into harder music as well. So that's the first thing, is our brain wants to be in that flow state, so it's going to have that speed monster getting us where we're going faster than we can comfortably and cleanly, because it's boring to go too slow. And a lot of people lack the patience, myself included, lack the patience to go slowly enough that it's actually really in control. The solution to this is contextual interference. So you go slowly enough, but you mix it up. You interfere with the context, you do your practice rhythms, you play it backwards, you just finger and count through the notes. There's a whole ton of different contextual interference things that you can do, but this solves that problem, because now when you found something that truly gets you to that point of desirable difficulty where you're like, wait, I have to do what now? I have to do backwards dynamics and backwards articulation while playing the second measure, then the first measure, then the third measure, then the second measure, then the fourth measure, then the third measure. Hopefully, if you're following along with that, you're like, wait, what would that even look like? And once you have that feeling, that desirable difficulty, you're automatically going to slow down, because then you're like, okay, I have to like go slow enough that I can actually think about this and actually figure out what I'm doing. And that is exactly the point. Contextual interference gets us into that flow state while still going slowly enough that we're actually in control of what we're doing. And that's the balancing of challenge and control, because the trap is our brain's going to want to go faster to get that challenge and to not be bored, but then we're going to get sloppy. So we need to kind of preempt that and put some challenge in, put some engagement in, so that we can be in that flow state without doing it by getting faster and getting out of control. Increase the challenge, get into the flow state, be more engaged, stay in control, stay accurate, stay clean and precise. So that's the first big idea here, and the big flow trap. The second flow trap maybe isn't so related to the flow state, but is definitely also where the speed monster is coming from, and that's our sort of internal expectations, that shooting on ourselves of, well, I've played the clarinet for this long, I should be able to play this fast. Oh, I have the performance coming up in a week, a month, 6 weeks, however far away it is. It happens to us no matter how much time we actually have. But the performance is coming up in X amount of time, so I need to get this up to tempo. I need to be able to play it at tempo now. But the funny part is, sure, maybe you're playing it at tempo now, but you aren't doing it cleanly. And I think we should switch the perspective to not, I need to play this at tempo now, but I need to play this cleanly now. And the more clean you play it, and the more clean you play it with more mental engagement in that flow state sweet spot, the more the speed will come without it getting sloppy. And I know that's very, very hard to trust, and it's a very tricky process to wrap your mind around, and it's not super intuitive, but it does genuinely work. In fact, I'm actually planning a fairly rigorous kind of scientific experiment around this that hopefully maybe I'll do this summer, and then I'll have true, at least one case evidence that it does work. But there's lots and lots and lots of science about it as well. So don't shit on yourself that it should be up to tempo. Don't have expectations that it should be up to tempo by now. Instead, make it clean. and focus on it being clean, accurate, in control. Then don't let the speed monster get you where, oh, it's so boring going this slow to be able to do it actually in control. Preempt that, add in challenge, do contextual interference. That actually makes you slow down even more. And that's where you're going to learn. You're going to be in control, you're going to feel challenged, so it's going to be engaging, and you're going to be doing it accurate. And if you do those three things, then you will have mastered the art of practicing, more or less. There's a few other steps, but that's a really, really good start. So that's your inspiration and motivation for today. Don't forget to check the link in the description to get registered for this Saturday's Choose Your Own Adventure workshop. It's going to be a blast, so definitely check it out. And of course, we can't have Monday Music Motivation without filling out our practice template. You can go to quickstartclarinet.com/get started to check this out and download this exactly, or just make it for yourself. Date for the week, reflection of how things are going for you, goal for what you're hoping to achieve and planning to achieve this week, and then your literal plan for when you're going to make it happen, what you're going to make happen, so that you show up, keep making progress every week, week in, week out. We move a little bit forward, we meet ourselves where we are, we preemptively add challenge to stay in that flow state, and we keep growing and improving. So thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic week. Happy practicing, and I'll see you next week on the next Monday Music Motivation. Have a good one. Bye.